Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Sports Fellas.
Here we go.
My name is Tristan.
My name is Edward.
What's up, guys? It's your Buckeye Believing Rock Chalk Jayhawking Royals rocking Wichita State shocking Houday hopeful Captain Chris with a K.
I know you've missed me. Kyle's back.
You're back better than ever, like a sequel. Make it happen. And this is your host, Carlos. You guys, today we're going to talk about some little bit of Southern hospitality here. We're going to discuss the AFC and NFC South. Also, we're going to talk about the new segment, the Hangry Polar Recap Hockey. So for all the hockey fans out there, we're going to do a little bit of recap of the Stanley Cup. Also, a segment of Chuck's Dugout. And another fan favorite, we got Eddie Money Sports Thoughts, and that giveaway is today. Also, we have the segment of Mano a Mano. So let's go ahead and give a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Well, I don't know about you folks, but here at Sports Fellas, things can get, well, a nice right funk going on sometimes. And in that time of need, we turn to our friend Kimberly Sampson, our own personal Cincy independent consultant. She is our favorite star consultant, so for your scent needs, get a hold of Kimberly at heavenlyscentswithkim@gmail.com or visit her website, heavenlyscentswithkim.cincy.us. You can also call her at 316-282-7363. That's Kimberly Sampson at Cincy, our favorite independent consultant.
All right, everyone. So we're going to start off with the NFL. So we're going to talk about the NFC South. So we're going to start off with the Atlanta Falcons. So last year they were 7-10. What do you see this year, Tristan?
Probably another 7-10.
Are they-
Give or take. They're not
the same, man.
They've lost people. They got worse, in my opinion. I mean, they don't have much going for them on offense or defense. To me, they're the same team, and in the division they're in, they're not making playoffs this year, not again.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tristan, especially, with Matt Ryan leaving. They're really, at no hope other than, that QB they drafted this year. He seems to be, I guess, above average to some, but...
Which one did they wind up with? Willis, or which one did they wind up with? Because Mariota's, I know who the...
He's going to be the
pencils
starting
start-
he's gonna be
quarterback.
the starter,
To begin with, for sure. He's the gap guy for...
he played for the Cincinnati.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
I
don't remember
can't
his
think
name,
of his
though.
name, but I do know... I mean, he took him to the...
Yeah, the
Seattle-
Bearcats.
Yeah.
The Bulls, or the
They
playoffs there.
got blown out by, Bama?
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, I think middle of the pack, mediocre team, 7-10, something like that. They don't really have anything going either way, offense, defense. They're just kind of in the league right now.
Here's the thing with Atlanta. Just quick brief. The only good thing going for them is they added another addition to their alternative jersey. That is the coolest thing I'm looking forward to.
They do have good uniforms.
They've got no
on.
Calvin Ridley. He's suspended for the year.
Yep.
Weapon-wise, they just look – I don't even know if the
Okay.
word mediocre is okay. I don't
Just
know.
okay.
Kyle Pitts is probably still going to be a stud, but maybe because who else are they going to have to guard?
Him and Mariota, they're going to be best friends. So
Yeah.
we'll see how
it's curious. I mean, you never know what kind of, maybe they wind up with Baker Mayfield. That would, they'd be all of a sudden bump them up. But it's probably not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen, but
I just love how the last 3 years everyone was piling on Matt Ryan. Oh, Matty Ice has lost
Yeah.
it. We'll see this year when they're really missing him, I think.
yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up because we will talk about him shortly. All right, moving on to the Carolina Panthers. They were disappointing, 5-12 last year. Tristan, where do you see the Panthers this year?
Same situation as the Falcons, man. They're not. I didn't see much room for improvement, and they're still focusing on the same QB. They didn't want to. I guess they're going all in on Sam Darnold. I mean, they got some. They drafted a couple linemen to try to protect him. But, I mean, other than that, I feel like they're in the same boat as the Falcons. Probably finished third or fourth, and they not got much going for them.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I don't understand their hesitation or why they're going to stick so close with Sam Darnold, who obviously he played well when McCaffrey was in, and they might play well again together. But McCaffrey's not in very often anymore.
And if they rely too heavily on him, he's just going to get injured again.
right, and so they really need someone to take some pressure off of McCaffrey, and Darnold is not the one for that. And so, like Tristan said, it's going to probably be a similar skid to what they had last year. 5, maybe 6 wins if something goes right, a couple balls bounce their way, but they might even be worse. They might be shooting for that top draft pick next year.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. I mean, they'll probably be below average, compared to the Falcons. I mean, they'll probably just going to be in a rebuilding mode. And I mean, that's really my only thought on that team.
Yeah, I think they'll make a mistake. I think they'll lean heavily on CMC. He's going to run a crap load because they don't even have a quarterback cut by committee. They have no clue what's going on. Every day there's a new rumor about who the quarterback's going to be, and I think the team is probably just trying to figure that out.
Unless they go for the trade for, Baker Mayfield. Everybody pretty much said it. That's it, because that organization is just in complete
Do
turmoil.
they still have Robbie Anderson?
He is still.
Yeah, but
he is still there.
He's talked and
He's
wanting to
not
retire.
very. Yeah. Well, he does. He's like, I'm just gonna go run around and get hit for no reason.
And statistically, it sucks that Robbie Anderson is a good wide receiver.
He
I mean,
is.
when he teamed up with Cam Newton, his numbers went up astronomically. And then when Sam Darnold at wide receiver, he was choosing who was the other DJ Moore.
Yeah.
So there was a preference. And then the run game, they rely heavily on the run game. And since Christian McCaffrey can't seem to stay healthy, it's hurting them, especially if you want to be on top in the NFC South. You have to be balanced both ways. That's why I miss when they had established run game. They had established Greg Olsen as a tight end, that safety net, and then also on defense, I miss Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
I miss that eagerness, that knocking heads off. And it's just that if Carolina wants to emerge from the NFC South, they're going to have to get it together, because they are falling behind. On to the next team, the New Orleans Saints. So they were last year 9-8. They went for a good run. They just stumbled at the end, but they're new, invigorated. A new helmet, by the way. That's a nice helmet. Shout out to them. I like the black. I'm going to start this off with you, Don. How do you think the Saints will do this year?
Well, as long as the quarterback can stay healthy, I think that they can improve maybe by a couple games, because they always seem to have that defense that's kind of mediocre, but they always have Tampa Bay's number for some reason. But as far as for the rest, competing in the division, they shouldn't have a problem being second. But right now with the NFC, I think maybe 11-6 gets them in the playoffs. Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing they have going for them this year is really that they play the Panthers twice and the Falcons twice. And they play Tampa Bay tough for whatever reason. So I think they're going to have a strong record this year. Is it a team that I think is going to go far in the playoffs? Probably not.
I think this is a curious case here, because you got a new head coach with Dennis Allen. Are they going to stick to, hold on to a lot of Sean Payton offense, which is obviously a good offense that most players have worked in, and so it's going to be very interesting. I think if they stay healthy, I think if Jameis Winston stays healthy, I do think that they can have some success. They can push for a wild card berth, like you were saying, Kyle, up in that 11-game win area. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun season for New Orleans if they, like I said, that's a big if they stay healthy, and if Jameis plays the way he's been playing in New Orleans and doesn't have some regression to his Tampa Bay, 5 interception games.
Is it crazy to think if Drew Brees comes back at some point during the
No, he's not. He's not coming back.
season? Because he's not in the booth anymore. And
He was missing it. He just wanted to be out in the field. And I'm glad you brought it up, because here's the thing. James Winston's now got Jarvis Landry now. So Michael Thomas has got help.
Yep.
So now you've got more opportunities. And now James Winston, he likes to throw the ball. But hey, don't forget Alvin Kamara. You've got a good run game. Now let's just focus on the other side, capitalize on turnovers. Capitalize. And I feel this year, I'm going to call it out, I think the Saints will make the wild card. I think they have a good team enough to make it to the wild card. I won't give them the division, but I think they will give Tampa Bay a headache again. So now let's talk on over to Tampa Bay. So Tom Brady's back. One more year. There's one more year. Last year they were 13-4. So start this off with you, Don. Where do you see the Bucs this year?
Well, I've been having some discussions with some people here the last couple of days about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we both kind of agreed that Tom Brady might hit a wall halfway through the season. So that might give the Saints a chance to maybe get close to winning the division. So it'll be kind of trying to finish the race. Who's going to finish better?
You think similar to like what Drew Brees hit back the last year that he played there. Like he was playing really well, and then that last kind of month of the season, you're
Hit a
like,
wall.
his arm's gone. Like there's nothing left there.
Yeah, but also to add to that, a lot of analysts have said, that about Tom Brady for the past decade, about him hitting a wall, and
Don't get him
Hasn't
started.
happened.
Don't get him started, please. He's going to have a box of receipts, and he's going to start cashing out those receipts. What about you, Kyle?
It concerns me a little bit just because he made the late comeback that he's going to unretire, and then there's this chatter about him and the Dolphins, which he didn't shoot down at all.
Mhm.
So I think his team is kind of wonder, is he going to stick around? Is this his last year? Is he going to retire? Is he going to go to Miami? I think they're still going to be a strong team. Any Tom Brady team is going to make every player 10% better, and that's his real strength. He's not good. He may have a game that he throws for 400, but it's going to be an anomaly, not the norm, I think.
I mean,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get just wild and crazy just for fun. This is gonna be Tom Brady's first and worst losing season.
I don't know.
They're just gonna
Really
nosedive
bold.
because of the animosity he's got going with the his
Oh,
coach
the
Bruce
BA,
Arians.
yeah.
There was something going on there. Everyone's speculating, and I think Todd Bowles is a great coach, but I don't know. I have a weird feeling that he's gonna get that Drew Brees or Roethlisberger had it last year, where it's just like they can still see it, they still want to do it, but it ain't doing it no more. I mean, as awesome as Brady is, he's still only human, and it does catch up one day.
And here's the thing: Todd Bowles, we know, is a defensive-minded type of coach, and the thing is, they have to focus heavily on the defense.
And
'Cause
run
here's the
game,
thing,
and he's a run game guy.
Here's the thing: last year in that NFC Championship, what happened to those corners? They slipped. They let Cooper Kupp burn them, and
Well,
I mean, there was
they're
not
not
really
the only ones.
Well, and here's the thing: notice the pass rush, they got real soft.
Yeah.
Kind of, they lost a step. But here's the thing: offensively, you still have Leonard Fournette. You got a good run game, ground and pound game. I mean, they lost Roy Jones. He went to the Chiefs. I don't know why, but that's a story for another day. But also, you still have your weapons. You got your wide receivers. You're not. I mean, Antonio Brown wasn't a huge loss, but you still got dependable receivers. So I still feel Tampa Bay, this could be their last year for now winning the division. But then going forward, the Saints are just right behind them. All it takes is one critical mistake, and they're done. So we will see how the NFC South progresses. Let's go ahead and move on over to the AFC South. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, they were 3-14 last year. We got a new coach, new look. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to start this off with you, Ed. How do you see the Jags doing this year?
Yeah, I mean, all I got to say is really just Urban Meyer, really.
Yeah.
That really
Well,
explains
he's
it.
gone.
They've already gotten better.
He's gone. Thank
So,
goodness.
yeah, I mean, they're like, the Falcons, Panthers, they're like on rebuilding mode, and they probably will win 3 to 4 games again.
You don't
If
sound
that.
optimistic. I don't like your attitude. No respect around here. Tristan?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same boat as Ed. I mean, they're much better than last season already through the draft, and their coach, which would hopefully make a big impact to them.
Mhm.
Travis Etienne's going to come back healthy, which everybody's having high hopes for him. I am too, but they're in a rebuilding mode. I don't see them doing much, making the playoffs, but maybe they'll have a couple more wins last season.
Yeah, I feel the same. They'll have a couple more wins more than what they did last year because the defense started picking it up late last season, and the offense can't do nothing else but get better. But they're going to be sitting there fighting for the bottom of the division with the Texans. Who's going to finish last?
Yeah, I would say if they get 7 wins, that'd be like awesome for them.
Oh, yeah.
I do think Doug Peterson's a much better coach for especially for Trevor Lawrence than Urban Meyer ever was. He's going to be running a much better offense for somebody to have a long time career and not be dead after the first year. So I think that's going to help them out a lot. It'll be curious. I mean, they still got talent. They've got NFL talent all across the team. So they're still going to be fighting for the bottom of the barrel, but probably not. They'll probably be 2 to 3 games better, like Tristan was saying, than they were last year. So they'll have some unexpected wins, as the NFLs want to do, and then some very expected losses.
How about you, Kyle?
I'm sad to say this. I think a couple of the unexpected wins are going to be against the Colts. I think this year is going to be Trevor Lawrence's breakout season. I think he's going to throw the ball like we've never seen before.
I think he's going to have like a Joe Burrow year 2 type.
I do. I just he's been held back. He
came
into the
Urban Meyer's
league,
horrible.
and then he had Urban Meyer as his coach. I think the next coach is going to say, "Look, we drafted this guy, one of the highest first overall picks, projected in a long time. Like, what are we doing here? Let's go out and throw the ball." And I think he's gonna throw a good number of picks, but I think he's gonna air the ball out in the league. How it's structured now, if you throw for 500 yards a game, like you're gonna get a bunch of wins. So I actually see them placing second in the division and making the wild card. So
that's nice. I have optimism for them. I mean, Trevor Lawrence and Marvin Jones they're gonna connect really well this year. That's going to be his go-to because you already know Doug Pearson, how offensively that is his scheme. That is his scheme, and especially now you can have Robinson as a check down, do his run game, and also I agree with Kyle on this one. I do believe they are going to shake up in the AFC South. I'm going to call it out. They will beat Tennessee in one game. They'll beat them, and they're going to beat them in Nashville.
Ooh,
yeah. So you guys call that. And you'd be like, hey, Carlos was right after all. That was right. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, so let's move on to the Houston Texans. They were 4-13. Terrible, terrible. Chuck, we'll talk to you later about it. Kyle, rundown on the Texans.
I think they're going to be disappointed. They made no moves that made me look like they're actively looking to improve the team. I think they're still trying to figure out who's in charge of the team right now and what kind of philosophy or strategy they have. So they're definitely going to be the bottom dweller in the division.
I would say the bottom dweller in the league this year. Yeah, they're right where they're at.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. Plus, who's their quarterback?
Is it still Daisy Mills or whatever?
Yeah, David Mills.
So,
how about you, Justin?
Yeah, David Mills wasn't too bad as a rookie now, but this is second
No,
season.
he wasn't horrible, but
Yeah, I agree with all you guys, bro. It's not looking good for the Texans at all.
Just terrible right now because after the whole Deshaun Watson debacle, they've just haven't recovered from
and
it.
they may be in trouble from the team itself. Maybe have some trouble hitting them later this year because of that too. I mean, Watson's still up in the air with his stuff, but the team might have some issues too.
Although they did not give the richest contract in NFL history to now have an entire season.
Such a Browns thing to do.
They might be able to get out of that though, based on the code of conduct.
Yeah, so I was listening to like Pat McAfee and a few others that were breaking it down, and there's a pretty good hard cap hit that they're going to have to take, even if they can void that contract because they were so zealous. That's why he picked the Browns. He was talking
flat
to the
out
Saints
said
and they said never mind, it doesn't
he was
matter.
one to do the Dolphins.
Oh yeah,
and but he was like, they just guaranteed me $250. I'm going there, man. Just like those live golfers.
I want to give a shout out in Houston to the Churrasco Club over there because that's the only thing that's going good for you guys. It's a little club that's inside the stadium, the Reliant Stadium, and it's a good place to hang out. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to everyone in the Houston area because here's the thing. I mean, the Astros, that's the best thing going for you guys. I mean, of course, the University of Houston, they're doing well, but as the football team itself, it's not looking too good. So I don't got much to say on that matter. Let's go ahead. Let's move on over to the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, the AFC champions last year, they went on 12-6 and lost to Chris's team, the Bengals, in the playoffs. So I'm going to start this off with Chris. Chris, how do you see the Titans going out this year?
I think they've backed down a little bit here. They traded away A.J. Brown, their best downfield threat. I'm not sure Julio Jones is still with the team.
Nope.
His contract was up, wasn't it, after last year? So, I mean, I don't know. Ryan Tannehill's not the kind of quarterback that makes his wide receivers better. He's a good quarterback, and he'll get, and his strong arm, he can get it down there to some very good wide receivers, but he's not one that necessarily makes them better.
You got Robert Woods. But
that's it. And I mean, 2-3 times over him, and then you still stack the box against Henry, who I don't know. He was looking rusty in that first game back in the division or in the divisional series there. So, yeah, I think they're gonna come down to earth a little bit. They've had a couple of really good years here where I think they've gone better than they were projected. I think they come back down 9-10 wins instead of the 12-13 wins.
Well, sorry. Who are we
I could
talking
even go less than that. Tennessee Titans.
The Titans.
Titans. Yeah, so I would say the Titans, I think they're going to take a step down. Like I said, I think the Jaguars are going to kind of leap into the second most dominant team in the division. I think the Titans' game plan has been working the last 2 seasons, but everybody knows what it is, which is give Derrick Henry the ball 900 times a game. And we all keep saying every year, well, this is the year that, the hits are going to catch up to him and the carries are going to catch up to him. And obviously everyone said that about Adrian Peterson as well, but then eventually it does. And I think this is the year where that unstoppable run game is going to hit kind of a brick wall. And, do you feel confident that they're going to go out and throw the ball, 40, 50 times? I'm not. So I think the Jaguars are going to be in better position in the division because of that.
Well, I feel Tennessee's run game is going to be still fairly decent with Henry, but like you said, if they're going to stack 8, in the box and force him to throw, unless Tannehill can get the ball down the field to his receivers and they can get open for him, they'll be lucky enough to get 10 wins this year.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I don't see Jacksonville finishing ahead of them, but I still see them regressing. They're definitely placing second. I don't see them placing first in that division. Tannehill's not too reliable. I think we saw that in the playoffs when they lost, man. All he had to do was just chew the clock out, and then he couldn't do that. He just had to throw a pick. But, they're still going to have a great run game. And I still think they got a decent team, but no, not enough to take that division this year.
Yeah, great take by all you guys. They'll probably be just a middle-of-the-pack team. They have an okay quarterback. So, they'll probably just end up taking second.
And I'm going to go ahead and give credit to Kyle here. The Colts has got them figured out. The system, the gameplay, Coach Vrabel, he has played kind of the same scheme. And now that you let go of Corey Davis, you let go of A.J. Brown. Julio Jones didn't really do much for you. And what's their tight end, Fisker? What's his name? I can't remember his name. That guy, he's unreliable. And then when Derrick Henry went out, what happened? They struggled.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to go ahead and go on to the team that I feel is going to win the division. And this is Kyle's team, the Indianapolis Colts. How do you feel this year about your Colts, Kyle?
I feel strong. Our last year, my biggest complaint was Carson Wentz, and the way that he is so reckless with the ball. It's unbelievable. He wants to score a touchdown every play, or he'll fumble it, breaking both the ankles at the same time, And, having someone that comes in and is a professional and says, my main goal is to protect the football at all times and manage the game. Multiple people in the Colts organization have just said, he's the most closely to how he acts with, like, as a Peyton Manning type leader in the organization, which is what our team desperately needs, especially with lack of veteran wide receivers. Having Matty Ice, I think he's going to be huge. So that piled onto that strong defense, we've paid most of the guys, which is a good sign. We've got Quentin Nelson coming up. His contract's going to be massive. But other than that, we look pretty good, and if we can bring in a veteran receiver or two, I think we're going to be in solid shape for the season.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Colts here, really picking up this year. I think they've been for a couple years a good quarterback away, and Phillip Rivers was close, but he had already kind of hit that wall. And like you said, Carson Wentz last year was just, that was kind of a dumpster. He was kind of a dumpster fire. Not the Colts are still good. Taylor's still running like a beast. So
No. Hey, he had that one good game, that Sunday night game against the 49ers. That Colts and 49er game, that was pretty good.
But anyways, yeah, I think they're going to have a little uptick this year. Probably take the division, and we'll see where it goes. They'll get them in the tournament and see what happens.
Yeah, they'll definitely take the division. Not with having Matt Ryan on the squad. You got Michael Pittman on the wideout, T.Y. Hilton. So you got a lot of great receivers, and to have a veteran quarterback in your backfield. It just it's like the icing of the cake.
Oh, yeah. I think it's no brainer they're going to win that division, man. They played great last year with Carson Wentz as quarterback. I think, with Matty Ice as their quarterback this year, they're taking that division. Hopefully they'll make it far in the playoffs.
I'd have to see how their defense reacts, this year. Because toward the middle of the season, toward the end, they started giving up a lot of yards and points, and that's how they end up falling. They lose the last 2 games of the season, which knocked them out of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
My head turned when they lost to the Jaguars.
Yes.
That day I couldn't even approach Kyle. He was unapproachable. He was not there.
I can imagine.
All circuits down, DEFCON level went up because I was like, where is Kyle at? He gone. Left. Kyle has left the building.
Yeah,
And the deal is this. Jonathan Taylor, you guys.
Yeah, forgot.
This guy
Going back, yeah.
is awesome. He's
the
an
real
awesome
deal.
wide receiver,
He's
and he's going to have an awesome year. And I truly believe this is their year that they're going to win the division. So I'm taking the Colts for the division. So that wraps up that segment there. The last but not least, we're going to follow the NFC North and AFC North. And then after that, we will just keep skimming away until the season starts. I'm looking forward to it. All right, so let's go ahead and give a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Razor Cut Information would like to thank you, Ernie Relas, at State Farm, located at 11330 East Central, Wichita, Kansas. Please visit Ernie to talk about your home, auto, life insurance needs. As they say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Thank you, Ernie.
All right, so we got the new segment, Hangry Polar Recap. It is for all the hockey fans. This is brought to you by C&K Adventures. Call them for any travel packages and rates. Call them at 620-687-0110. Contact Cole Kirkbride and reach them online at ckadventures.com for all your travel needs. All right, guys, so Tampa Bay and Colorado, they're in the Stanley Cup final, and Game 1 was wrapped up with Colorado winning. Last second shot, 4-3. Who are hockey fans here? It got real quiet.
Sure
Eric, I hear you. I hear all the hockey fans out there. So when you guys like and subscribe, tell us who's your team, and we want to know more so we can go more in depth with hockey. So Game 2 is coming up, and so right now Colorado's got the first one. So Tampa Bay has won 2 already Stanley Cups back to back. Colorado hasn't won one in a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. So we'll see how that goes. We'll keep you posted. All right, another segment break, and thank our following sponsors.
Since 1990, Wichita's own Superstar Sports has everything for the fans' needs, whereas for NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, or either college. So please check them out at either the Town West Mall in Wichita, Kansas, or the Town East Mall, Wichita, Kansas. Whereas Superstar Sports, where every fan is welcome.
We got Chuck's Dugout. All right, let's go ahead into the MLB. Let's do a breakdown. So in the AL East, we have first the New York Yankees. Shout out to D-Rock, all the Yankee fans. Tristan, let me finish, please. Thanks. And then second, the Toronto Blue Jays. There you go. That's the real team right there, because my Red Sox are not there. In the AL Central, we have the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Guardians. I was this close to say the Indians, but it's the Guardians. In the West, we have Chuck's team, the Houston Astros. And guess what? Texas Rangers. They're doing a great job in the AL West.
Not for long. Okay.
Tristan, that's a strike 2 for you, man. All right, in the NL East, we have the New York Mets. And second up, we have the Atlanta Braves. In NL Central, we have the St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers in second. And then the West, we have the San Diego Padres and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Almost said Chargers. The Dodgers. Hey, Kyle, who's your favorite team in baseball?
I'm going to have to actually say, well, my favorite team is the Cubs. But since moving here, I obviously can't go to Cubs games. I'm more of an in-person baseball player, like following the trades and everything that's going on. It's difficult for me. So I live vicariously through my brother, who's a diehard Mets fan. He's been a Mets fan for 15 years, and they've always been terrible. And this year, he is so absolutely certain that they're going to win the World Series this year. So I'm happy for him. So I'll root for the Mets all year.
Okay, that's not bad. I mean, the Mets are playing pretty good. I mean, the Braves are just right under them, but my Red Sox, they're coming up. They're coming up.
They are.
I wish I could say the same for the Cubs. But all right, so now that wraps up the season. We'll keep you guys posted, and let's go ahead and give a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Hey guys, it's your old pal Chris with a K here, giving a shout out to some of those unsung heroes in the entertainment industry, DJs, and we've got a great one for you. Spin It Again Entertainment, doing weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, music events, photo booths with backdrops and dancing on the clouds. Check them out at Linktree Spin It Again Entertainment. Their phone number 316-617-3281. That's Spin It Again Entertainment. Check them out for all your entertainment needs.
This is it, you guys. Eddie's Money Sports Thoughts is brought to you by Spin It Again Entertainment. They specialize in live DJing, lighting with sound, photo booth, and any extra accessories. They cater to weddings, anniversaries, birthdays. Contact our friend Aaron Ledesma at 316-617-3281. And with you guys listening to the podcast, you do get a discount. That's not bad, you guys. Not bad, not bad. So thank you again, Aaron, and contact him at Spin It Again Entertainment.
I got money.
All right, Ed, this is the question. But before we answer the question, we were giving away a Kansas City Chiefs floor mat. And who is our winner, Tristan?
Marty.
Marty, congratulations. You got a Kansas City
Get
Chiefs
it, Marty.
floor mat. Yeah, go ahead and step on it. Like I said, that's going to be your season. Dirt, messed up,
Agreed.
fans leaving. Third quarter, going to be gone. But congratulations from Sports Fellas to you, Marty. We will give those floor mats out to you. So, Ed, the question is, with the Warriors winning their 7th title, are the Warriors considered a legacy? Are they finally an established dynasty team?
I have to say yes, especially with Draymond, Clay, and Curry winning 4 rings in a matter of 6 years, 6 years, and then on top of that, 2 seasons ago, they were by far the worst team, if anything. So for them to come back fully healthy, everybody was in their A game, and then to beat a young squad like the Celtics with Tatum, Smart, Brown. It's just you can't say that they're not. So
Okay, gotcha. Don?
Yeah, I have to agree with them because, they just played phenomenal. They weren't really like the best team, in the playoffs, and they still won the championship. And they said this was their least talented team compared to the other championships they've won. Wiggins, started pulling off late in, these last couple of games. Draymond actually stepped up, because everybody picked Boston to win. But, somewhere along the line, Boston just kind of fell apart. They just act like they didn't know how to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And Tatum and Brown, the 2 best players to turn the ball over so many times. I'm like, how?
yeah, I think it all comes down to who's been there and who hasn't been there, and who's done it and who hasn't done it. And Curry, he's already had multiple shots at it. So it's just like you can't, overcome a player of that magnitude, especially after that 40-point game, game 5,
That championship experience.
So
Yeah, obviously Steph Curry is the cornerstone of the team, but I think equally as important is Draymond and the culture that they have there. He has picked up this Bill Laimbeer persona where he's just the do-it-all guy, whatever it takes to win. And what's really cool, the thing that I like the most about the team is they built out young talent that a lot of other teams are not doing, right? How many teams do draft a guy, hang on to him for 3 years, sit him on the bench the entire time, and then they never develop them unless they're a top 15 pick. It's almost like in the NBA, most teams consider you just lucky to be there, sit on the bench, whereas the Warriors bring these guys out, play them in games, especially when they're getting blown out. And the other thing that I think is interesting about how I think they're going to keep doing it is players can take less money there because Draymond came out and basically said, look, I can make less money here, but I can get into tech deals and I can make way more money than I can ever make on a basketball court. And KD was also a big part of that when he was there. They were doing, private equity deals and getting into Uber and, things that they never would have been able to do if they're in Minnesota. And so I think players think of that now. It's more of like they look at their brand and what their business acumen is, and would they rather be in San Francisco where they're actually in the action, or sadly at the Indiana Pacers, where you're going to do no business deals there, and you're only going to play basketball. So.
And here's the thing: at the end of the day, let's go start from all the top, from the corporate on their way down. Steve Kerr was brought in. They were just missing the hump by a little. Steve Kerr came in, brought in that winning culture, and just adding on more players. And I agree, Draymond Green is a leader. I mean, this guy, you hate him, but you love him. I mean, for all your Warrior haters out there, I know I'd hate him too. I mean, I look at him and I hate him. And I don't mean it personally. It's just because he's it's so easy to attract that he runs his mouth all day. He does, but you know what though? For the people that love the Warriors, you got somebody that can get the team hyped up, ready to go. And then adding additions with Kevin Durant leaving, it's like he was never there. He was never there. And I'm glad what they said. Hey, he came in. Okay, yeah, he's back-to-back MVP finals. But here's the deal. We're still doing it without him. And with this ring, it proved that adding, with Wiggins coming in and Poole coming in, that team looks solid. And they're just going to be a nightmare. So this is a wake-up call for the Nuggets, a wake-up call for the Utah Jazz. Dallas, okay, maybe. But the
Grizzlies.
Western Conference, okay, and the Grizzlies. But the Grizzlies, if they can get their pieces together, they're going to be a menace. But here's the deal. For now, it's the Warriors. And Boston, on the other hand, these guys, after that quarter's gone, I know Matt Damon was right there, get in the car. Let's go. Those Boston fans, they were like, let's go, because this is ridiculous. They wanted to go to the Red Sox game. That's how bad it was. I know. I understand you guys. I told it. You probably went. Clam chowder was out, and then Red Sox tickets were probably sold out. So you were having a bad day. But if Boston is going to go back, again, you're going to still see Milwaukee. You don't know if Miami's going to play better. It's just a lot of questions going on. And then the last but not least, not seeing LeBron in a playoffs is just weird and different. Yep. So if you're trying to get one more in, you better get it together, because the Warriors are not stopping. All right, so let's go ahead and give a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Razor Cut Information would like to thank you, Ernie Reles, at State Farm, located at 11330 East Central, Wichita, Kansas. Please visit Ernie to talk about your home, auto, life insurance needs. As they say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Thank you, Ernie.
This is the favorite show of all, the new show, Mano a Mano. This is brought to you by State Farm. Call our friend Ernie Reles at 316-682-2300 for your auto, home, and life insurance needs. Again, call Ernie Reles at 316-682-2300. Thank you, Ernie.
You feeling lucky, punk?
All right, you guys. So we're going to go ahead, starting off with, we're going to go ahead and pick Driston, and we're going to pick... and Don. Okay, so Don, I'm going to start this off with you. As we discussed, with the Warriors winning their 4th NBA title and 7 in total overall, are the Warriors on path to such as the elites as the Celtics, the Lakers, and the Bulls?
Hey, real quick. I don't watch basketball, bro. That's cheating.
It's cheating?
Yes, I don't know anything about basketball. I'm going to lose if you get me this.
This is a mano a mano first. Okay, so I'll move that over to Ed. So, Don, go ahead. Can you answer that question, please?
I believe so, because with the pieces they have right now, and they're going to keep them for the next 4 or 5 years, and they're going to resign and bring in more pieces. So, with Kerr keeping everybody together, more than likely, I don't see them not being among the elites of the Bulls and the Celtics and Lakers of great. So, and I see at least another 2 championships here within the next 5 to 6 years. So that puts them up to 9. And, you got the Celtics up there with 11, Lakers 17, Boston 17. So I think that they can be established as a dynasty.
Yeah, I mean, I completely, agree with you there. Other than, they may not get it, to that type of magnitude. But, they have, the squad for another 2 or 3 wings, especially, with Poole, Kuminga, Gary Payton. And, let's not forget to mention, they won this without their, starting center, James Wiseman. So,
I think so. As long as he can stay healthy, and they add another, big man to help back him up, I can see them just, dominating the West for the next 3 to 4 years. And the only team that might come close in the West is maybe Memphis or maybe Dallas.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. The thing is that the Warriors have gone now to 6 finals in this past
8 years.
8 years. So therefore, I mean, the Celtics. When's the last time they even went to a final?
09, I believe.
Yeah, so it's been a while. When's the last time the Bulls went to a final? That's 90. Well, no, they did go with Derrick Rose. It was Derrick Rose. So, but still, the Warriors are still doing. I think they're on the right path. I don't know if they'll catch up to the Celtics or Lakers, but I would say they could surpass the Bulls. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this to you, Don. So good job on that one. All right, moving on here. So we've got Chris and Dristan. I'm gonna start this off with Dristan since he told on
Got a
himself.
football question now.
All right, is Deshaun Watson worth staying on with the Browns, or should he be or there should be a better option for the Browns organization?
All right, I think at this point there's a better option. There has to be, because I mean, I read an article that there's a possibility he may be suspended a couple games, and there's more allegations coming out towards him. And that's the only reason there's a better option. It's too much trouble trying to keep him on the team with that gigantic contract and hoping he's going to play, rather than taking somebody in and, of course they may not be as good, but at least they're going to play. At least they're going to be there for you.
Yeah, I think that he does not have a better option. There's no other team that's even going to touch him with a 10-foot pole. If this doesn't work out for him, if he's not on the Browns, no one's coming close to him. So there is not a better option for him, nor the Browns, because the Browns just screwed their only other option, which was Mayfield. I mean, he might still play just because he's that kind of guy that's probably going to suit up if he gets the chance. But I don't know if he's going to be going out there with a hurt shoulder. Like, he's going to be like, hangnail. Sorry, guys, I'm on the bench. I ain't doing this again.
Yeah, bro, the Browns just they should have waited or at least seen where this was going. But they look like it's a dumpster fire for them now because, as you said, Baker Mayfield, he may play, but who says he's going to want to play 100%? But, on the other hand, the Browns, they really, if Deshaun Watson is suspended and he can't play because, all those allegations keep adding up, and what are they going to do? They can't do anything else. They have to go for hopefully Mayfield if he's even going to be on the team by then. But
I think he'll be sitting out. I think he'll pull kind of what Watson did last year and just be like, no.
They're going to have to rely on,
He'll be on the team because they won't want to give up his rights, but they'll be paying him to sit like the Texans did to Watson last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, to me, as a Cincinnati fan, so long-time disliker of the Browns, this was one of the most Browns thing to do. How possibly could you screw up like a huge quarterback contract? This is how I can screw it up by being the Browns.
Ouch. I wondered the contract. Are there massage parlors around? No.
Shut down all Cleveland.
Deshaun, I know you're hearing the show. I'm just throwing it out there. I know you're hearing the show. Look, go get that lawyer that Johnny Depp got. That's going to help you out in the civil suit because it's not looking good.
The one he's got now ain't helping him out.
It's not helping you out.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to come down to Wichita,
Prostitution isn't illegal.
Sportsfellas does not do that. So we'll go ahead and give this to Dristan here. So Dristan, that was a good one. Dristan.
Happy endings aren't necessarily.
That's what he said. That's what the guy said. Bad lawyer.
I do not approve that message. All right, so let's move on. All right, so Don and Kyle here. Kyle, I'm going to start this off with you. Coach McCarthy and Coach Ron Rivera fined for practices. Do coaches not getting the memo, or is this another agenda for them for breaking the NFL rules?
I think they understand the rules. They have an army of people that are deciphering it for them. I think they're weighing the pros and cons, right? I think they're saying, okay, what's a fine to the team? The exception might be if you're losing other practices, but I think there's a reason that it's happening to multiple teams. They're testing this out to see what they can get away with, and they're both solid coaches. They're not rookie coaches. They're not they know what they're doing. So I think there's a reasoning behind why they're trying to get these practices through. It just hasn't worked out for them yet.
Now, what did they get violations for? Was it because of extra practices?
It was contact,
extra hitting,
contact,
too much hitting in practices. Because they can only have so many contact practices in OTAs and season.
And they even had to review footage.
It's player union stuff and injuries. You get sued. There's a lot of liabilities and insurance stuff that goes.
I
into
get that, but see, back in the day,
But this ain't back in the
They're not
day.
getting that. We try to get as many hit practices
Sure.
as possible. But of course, if this is the rules, then they're gonna have to follow by the rules. If you like giving away free money, then go ahead and keep, collecting
Yeah.
violations. But then the only problem is then you risk, hurting your main stars.
Mhm.
Now I don't know if the main starters are getting these extra practices or not, but but the coaches know the rules, so they really don't give a care about the rules. So therefore, they're probably going to keep continuing to keep doing this stuff until the NFL decides to step in and like, hey,
Some
y'all don't stop
serious
this, we're going to
punishment.
start putting in some suspensions.
Yeah, thousands of dollars of fines. The Broncos sold for $4.5 billion. Do you think they're worried about their
5
cash
games
flow?
in? Nah.
So I think
Fine them $100,000.
We're taking over all the
It's not going to
Walmarts.
matter.
We're taking over.
so
We're gonna
the
have
coaches
everywhere.
right now. They know the rules, so they're going to keep doing it until the NFL decides to step in. It's like, look, either y'all stop this or we're going to start adding suspensions.
Well, and to me, these are two coaches. Those suspensions happen for those suspended practices are for next year's OTAs. And these are two coaches that are kind of on their hot seat, aren't they? A little bit. Like, they're like, we may not be here next year. Like, we need this team to work this year. I don't give a crap about OTAs next year. I need this stuff to get handled this year.
All right, well, goes to show. Kyle just nailed it on the dot. So, yeah, we'll give this one to Kyle here. So, let's go ahead and move on. So, now we're in the playoff mode. So, we got Driston and Ed. So, Ed, I'm going to start this off with you. Another basketball question, but I think you got this one, Driston. You're not getting out of this one.
Okay.
Will LeBron James find success for next year, or we will see another declining year in his career?
Not necessarily another declining year, but definitely not something that, to be proud of, if that makes sense. They'll definitely will make the playoffs, but I don't see them advancing later than the conference finals, just because, it's so many great teams, especially, with the Warriors, the reigning champs. I don't see, them, surpassing them, so.
How about you, Driston?
Yeah, I see. Sorry, I see LeBron finding success, but not very far. I agree with Ed, man. He makes some valid points there.
I know you were thinking about, is he going to make another Space Jam movie? No, Driston, no.
Say he's finding success in L.A. Didn't he produce that new Adam Sandler, the Hustle movie with Adam Sandler?
Yeah, with Netflix.
He's not in it, but he's like produced it. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and then,
That's-
especially, with Anthony Davis, he's injury prone. Westbrook, I mean, it's a hit or miss when he wants to play well and when he doesn't want to play well. And, is he willing to take that sacrifice of, giving, the ball, for LeBron, to, push it up.
All right, Ed. I mean, he agreed with you, so yeah. So I'll go ahead and give it to you.
Well, as
So-
someone who doesn't watch basketball, seeing as how
See, you're like the Chiefs. See,
LeBron,
this is why I know you're a Chiefs fan, because you give 3 quarters, you don't give the 4th quarter back. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on here. So Chris against Kyle. This is gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna start this off with Chris. So this new 2022 NFL season, what team will end their droughts and make the playoffs?
ooh, in their drought.
I'll give you a hint. The longest drought is the New York Jets with 11 seasons without making a
It's not going
playoff.
to be them.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the Jets. I'm not sure that that's a tough one. I'll let Kyle go have first dibs at it because I might have to think for a second. Because ending a drought, you're talking at least 4 or 5 years of no playoffs, right? That takes a minute just to think of who hasn't been in. And
Okay, I'll throw in another hint. The shortest one is the Los Angeles Chargers with 3 seasons without making a playoff appearance.
Okay.
Denver hasn't gone to. It's been 6 years for Denver, which we will this year.
Raiders
No,
was
Just throwing it
last
out there.
year.
Just throwing it out there.
get your hopes up.
Let me dream a little.
Yeah, I for a drought-ridden team, I would say I do have to go with Denver probably. I like
Good
Denver
job, Chris.
with
Getting
Russell
some
Wilson.
points
I
there.
mean,
I like that. I like
you
that.
got Russell Wilson. He kind of is a playoff machine. So,
Okay.
and they were a good team. I mean, I think the rest of the team, minus their quarterback, was a playoff contender. And even with Teddy Bridgewater, could have made it if he had stayed fully healthy all year. I think so. Yeah.
I said a little bit earlier, I think it's going to be the Jaguars. I think they're going to make the wild card. They're going to be a playoff contender. And
First
I'll
time
say it.
since Blake Bortles.
I'll say it now, I think that Trevor Lawrence will be an MVP candidate.
That's way too much.
Oh,
No,
he went all in.
Yeah, you have to stop there.
Oh,
because that's the only way that they're going to be a playoff team, and I think they're gonna find a way. I think they're gonna probably get 10 wins and be a playoff team.
But there's just so much up in the air because, especially with the AFC West. I mean, Don's team here, he's about to go to cardiac arrest here. Hey, Don, slow down.
well,
buddy.
they were in the
Slow
they
down.
were in the playoffs last year.
That's what I'm saying, though. You see how he was about to shake on me. Like, here's the deal. It's now with the expansion and everything. That's gutsy, Kyle. I don't know. I need a little bit more. Come on, let's throw in something to stick a fork in it.
Guy that's not doing much out there, and Russell Wilson's got multiple Super Bowl appearances.
Just two.
NFC champion. That's multiple. That's more than one.
Okay, you make it sound like he's been at 3-4.
He's got multiple NFC championship games, probably three or four.
Two.
Just two?
Just
He's
two.
only been to two?
Two.
Okay.
Two.
But he's been there a lot, and Denver's got a strong defense, very strong defense. Definitely playoff-worthy defense, I would say. So,
Kyle, anything you can throw in there?
for the Jags,
I mean, that's gutsy.
Because how many games did they win last
I mean, gutsy. I'll say the Lions. How
Yeah.
about that?
Okay, it's over. Kyle, no, Chris, he done messed
Only 3
up.
wild card
Yeah.
spots, though.
They're
was
on
looking-
Hard Knocks this
I
year,
was
man.
looking-
The
I
Hard
was
Knocks is
looking-
going to give it the
Yeah.
Lions the.
I was
go-ahead.
looking for the Dolphins. I wanted someone to say the Dolphins,
I
that
don't
they
think
were
so.
going to shake it up. But no, I mean, I think they'll have a better record. But I think
don't know.
there's just too much competition.
I agree.
Or
The
you could have said the
Dolphins.
Chargers. The Chargers
don't-
is believable if they just
I
don't
don't
give it
see
away.
the Dolphins stepping over the Bills or the Patriots in that division.
I see him
even.
stepping over the Patriots.
No,
Nah,
I don't
we'll
think-
see.
We'll see. All right, well, we're giving it to Kyle because Chris, I don't know what this guy. He's talking about
Detroit.
multiples and this and that. Then he said Detroit. He done messed up. All right.
Oh,
All right. I'm sorry, you guys.
trying to
All right,
make
but
sure
you
people
still,
are listening
You
out
still,
there.
but you still made the playoffs, so I'll give you that. So, Don. So Kyle advances. So Don, this is it for you guys here. So next up we have, starting with you. What are the possibilities that the NFC South leans towards the Saints, or will still the Buccaneers still be crowned of the NFC South division winners?
I believe that even though Brady may hit a wall at some point, they're still going to win the division. The Saints, I don't think they're going to have it. They may make a wild card spot, but as far as winning the division goes, it's going to go toward the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because you got the receivers like Godwin and Mike Evans for Tom Brady to throw to, and Fournette running the ball. It's just that, with that, combination right there and their defense and pass rush, besides the Saints, giving them a headache, Tampa Bay still, going to win the division.
Chris, get back at you, man. We're in the
Oh,
playoffs.
I thought it was Kyle.
No, Kyle's is in the next one.
Oh,
Yeah, he wants. He
I wasn't listening. I thought I was out after the Detroit Lions comments. I thought I was done.
I have a forgiving heart, so go ahead.
I know what I said earlier about the Tampa Bay having a bad year. I don't really believe that, man. I was just being crazy. I think they're going to come back full force. I think Brady came back with a mission in mind. I don't think he does many things just willy-nilly, the whole retirement and coming back. I think he really did think about it for a while and was like, I could have made it. Like, we were 1 or 2 plays away this past season, and I think we can get it done again. So I think at Tampa Bay's, I think he's going to actually be on a mission and really, really put his foot in some people's rears.
Yeah, they'll definitely win the division and go to the playoffs, but the furthest I see them going is maybe the NFC Championship game.
That's pretty far. Although I do see them going, they could. I mean, you can't ever count Brady out of if once he makes the playoffs. I mean, he's a pretty strong candidate for going all the way.
I mean, I'll say it here.
Okay, yeah, help out.
Tampa Bay is gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm going.
I'm trying not to say that, but
Nah,
I do think Brady's
I
coming
still
back.
think Brady deep inside, and I hope he's not thinking like that. I mean, even though he shakes me up sometimes. But here's the deal. I think inside he was low-key hating on Matthew Stafford. He's like, how did that chump get the
That's
Super
why I
Bowl?
think he's came back.
Really? How did he get it? And then you got Aaron Darnold finally, he gets it, well deserved. And then you're looking at the pieces there. I mean, Odell, no, he's cool with Odell because Odell wanted to play with Tom Brady. But something inside, I think he's trying to target Matthew Stafford because he's thinking, how did he get it? How did he get it? So, okay, Chris, we got to give it to him. Chris, good job, man. I'll give you that one here. I'll give you that one. All right, Chris, we will see you in the championship round. So, Kyle and Ed, I'm going to start this off with Kyle. Tyreek Hill commented on his podcast that Tua was a better passer than Patrick Mahomes.
He's more accurate.
Okay, no one's talking to you, Tristan. How should he feel about a former quarterback talking bad about him? Well, we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, Kyle.
How should Patrick Mahomes feel about it?
Yeah, you got Tristan all rattled up. So we'll let you talk.
Got me rattled up.
Okay, we'll get you a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he's really bothered by it because he's running the offense in Kansas City and Tyreek is just going to be an option in Miami. I think what he probably meant to say was, Tua has to try harder than Patrick Mahomes does because Patrick Mahomes does throw some balls that you're like, what are you doing? But then 50% of those balls are cowboy shots that make it. So I think he's going to get more targets and he's going to try to prove his point. But I think Patrick Mahomes is not worried about it because Kansas City is always retooling around him. He's going to have just as many weapons. I don't think he's concerned. Would it be great to have him? Sure. But as we've seen, other speedy receivers, they slot right in there, and he has a great game. So.
Yeah, I mean, great points to all of that. But, now that you mentioned it, about that video about Tyreek saying, saying that, on his podcast, it was really just for views. Tyreek doesn't really believe that. Like, we all know who's the best quarterback out of the two. And
so he was playing with Tua's emotions pretty much. He was just trying to hype him up.
I mean, in the end, that's his current quarterback, so it's like, he can't really, downplay.
And how much does Patrick Mahomes just hate the internet and social media at this point? You've got receivers saying stuff just to get clicks for their new podcast. He's got his brother doing TikTok and everybody wants to kill that guy, and then his fiance's dumping champagne on people. He's just like, man, I just want to go out and play football.
Yeah, and then you add on another TikTok star, Juju Smith. So but I mean, jokes aside, he still has Travis Kelce, Clyde Edwards, and the list goes on and on. I mean, they have an okay, receiver room. Their defensive side, I mean, it's still pretty good. So I mean, it doesn't really bother Patrick Mahomes. He's unfazed about it. In the end, Tyreek. Just the other day, I was watching, Undisputed, with Skip and Shannon. They were, talking about, Tyreek is really gonna regret, leaving Kansas City.
Oh, for sure. So. And just from, to be petty, is Patrick Mahomes going to worry about it? No. Obviously not. Tyreek just signed the richest deal ever for a wide receiver. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even sniff what Mahomes is making. So at some point he can say, look, it's irrelevant. Like, you need the numbers to get that contract, and I could have gave them to you, but good luck.
Ooh, that's good. And I'm going to add on to that. Thank you, Patrick Mahomes, for putting a Whataburger in Kansas City. Thank you. Thank you. So, Tristan, we're looking forward to that. All right, Kyle. Yep, you got that one. That was pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so we are here at the championship. Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. Kyle will be in the championship there. So this is going to be Don and Chris to face Kyle in the championship. Will the Warriors repeat next year?
I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Because with the core they're bringing back right now, they can only get better because I can't see them getting worse. Who's going to really compete with them in the West besides maybe Phoenix and maybe Memphis? But Phoenix kind of, show their true colors, and, they've already hit their peak. They're starting to be on the decline. Memphis is slightly rising up, so I can see Golden State facing them in the West Finals and then Golden State beating them in 6 and repeat as champions.
I'm going to say yes because I've been a long-time Golden State Steph Curry fan now for a while. I was before the year that he got hurt. I didn't know he was hurt. I was already picking them to win that year. So yeah, I think that they're going to win as long as Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, as long as they're kind of that those key cogs are nice and healthy. I mean, as soon as they got back together, what'd they do? They ran off and won a championship, and it takes the three of them, or the three that's been there every game, through every season of those championship seasons is Steph, Klay, and Draymond. And even when they're not all playing, as Klay didn't have a great finals series, but he had some pretty good games leading up to it and carried it when they needed to. Steph, I know he's the MVP, but I mean, he didn't have the greatest performance ever of the finals. I mean, he had one 40-point game and then some, upper 20s and 30-point games. But anyway, all that to say that, yes, I just think that they have the right, kind of like the Patriots of the NFL, like they have the right culture in that from top down. I can't remember who was saying it earlier when we were talking about
me.
About Kerr coming in.
I just wanted some validation there.
But with Kerr coming in, and I think that he really meshed really well with Steph, who was already becoming the star at that time, the obvious leader of. I know Draymond is kind of the culture leader, but he was playing when Steph and Klay were hurt, and they weren't winning. So as much of a leader as Draymond is, without Steph and Klay, that team doesn't go.
I think next season, I think this is a step up for Andrew Wiggins. Him and Poole, he did his thing all season, but with Wiggins stepping up in the finals, that'll be the step he needed to take to help progress, next season to help him get to the championship and win again.
You guys, who are you going to give it to?
I really think that it's kind of the start of a dynasty with Wiggins and Poole, that basically Thompson and Curry are going to just be like, okay, guys, this is how we're doing it. Yeah. Here you go. Now you guys take over, and they'll just kind of start backing those minutes down as the years increase. And I mean, I think they could not only next year, but they could be 2, 3, 4 years, 5, 6, 7 championships down the road.
In the next 5 years, I can see no more than 2, because eventually they're going to break down. But for right now, they're going to repeat as champions, because everybody's going to take their game up to another level. Iguodala should be back and stay healthy, and then of course
he's got another ring. He was on the bench. That's awesome.
Yeah,
to be on the bench. Well, all right, Tristan, who you picking out of this debate?
That's a good question, y'all. You guys make valid points.
We got to pick.
I understood every point too.
He's trying to make
I'll
you the
pick
bad
Don.
guy, Tristan.
Yeah. Who are you gonna pick,
I'll
Chris?
pick you, Don. I got Don.
Okay, Don. Ed.
I'll take Chris. This one.
Kyle, who do you want? This is the deal breaker.
Oh, who do I want?
Yeah.
I want Don.
You want Don?
There you go. Good job, Don.
Good job, Don. Good job, Don. Eric, who you think? Who we going for, Eric? He's just smiling. He doesn't know. Well, you know what? You both have valid points, and I see what it is, but it's just that you're the comeback king. You found a way to use my resources to elevate yourself and still win away.
I was paying attention.
I have to give it to you, man. So I'm going to give it to you, Chris,
all right,
because that was just awesome. But don't plagiarize me again, okay? You will lose every round. All right, so this is it, you guys. Battle Dome. This is it. The finals here. And I can't believe it fell on your lap, Kyle. And I'm going to start this off with you, Chris.
Okay.
How will the Colts do this year with Matty Ice as their starting quarterback?
They will be 12-5 and win their division and second overall in the AFC. Not get the bye, but because it's only one game, only one team bye at first place. But that's where I'm going to go. They're going to be a surprise second place.
Kyle?
I think they're going to win the AFC.
The whole AFC.
I think they're going to win the entire AFC. I think the only team really that somewhat bothers me would be the Bills. But I think they're going to beat them. You know, they beat us last 2 years. I think this is the year where the experience comes through. Matt Ryan finally gets to the promised land. And I think the build that they've done with drafting, first NFL team guys, I think it's going to pay off. I'm worried about what that will mean after they win a ring, which is what I'm hoping happens. But I think there's so much going on in Indy. I was reading a story today about Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne is a receivers coach, and
that's fun.
And
For Indy,
and they were other coaches were talking about how much the players actually liked and followed. You've got receivers that grew up actually watching Reggie Wayne.
He's Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
right?
and so I think he's going to bring that old school Colt mentality, as one of the most winning programs of the last 30 years. So I think there's just so many good things going. The kind of bad attitudes and the Carson Wentz isms of the organization are gone. Barring Andrew Luck walking through that door, I think we're in the best position we could starting the season.
I think Matty Ice, although he is structured and good, he's up there. He's not going to quite be able to pull off a win of the whole thing, but he's going to get him back to the playoffs. But yeah, I think he's just a little too long in the tooth, as they might say.
Didn't you just say that?
Hey,
Tom Brady
I
is
said
gonna
win it all. Yeah, but Tom Brady's special, man. He's special. He's the GOAT for a reason. Most guys don't make it out up into past the late 30s.
Well, Matt Ryan played for the Falcons, so I think.
But it was still his body out there trying to run, and I did say trying to run. So I know he is behind one of the best offensive lines now, so he's going to definitely appreciate that, and that's going to help him a lot. Thus, me thinking they're going to win their division, but there's still some other teams like the Bills and the Chiefs of the world that are going to maybe say something about the whole winning the conference.
Unlike Carson Wentz, we do not want Matt Ryan running. That's why we have Jonathan Taylor. So,
I mean, good solid points. I mean, let's go down in history. I still remember that core when it was Reggie Wayne, Pierre Garcon, and Marvin Harrison was hurt in that Super Bowl, I believe. He didn't play, but still, they were a headache. They were a headache, big time. And the thing is that Reggie Wayne is a phenomenal player to watch. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch Reggie Wayne. I mean, Reggie Wayne would torch a defense.
Yeah. The Broncos specifically.
No one's talking about the Broncos. Yes, I do remember a game. There was a game in Denver when Reggie Wayne was covered by Darren Williams. Rest in peace. He's no longer here. He covered, and Reggie Wayne just tore. Peyton Manning just had a heyday in Denver, and they just
couldn't cover him.
You couldn't cover him. And so here's the thing, though. I like the Colts' defense. I think their defense is better than the Bills. I feel they've got real phenomenal pass rushers, and now you've got corners. You got corners that they're getting up there. Then they just picked up Stephon Gilmore. He's playing for the Colts. I mean, I'm trying to see. I'm throwing it out there, you guys. I'm throwing it out there.
I mean, he's gonna lock down the other receiver. You got Kenny Moore, but he's doing a contract deal right now, but he's gonna play. Kari Willis retiring. That hurts a little bit, but he was not the star.
But he's doing something better. He's doing God's work. Just throwing it out there.
Exactly. That's why we're going to win the Super Bowl.
I thought that's what football was.
It's a martyr sacrifice.
I thought football was God's work.
Okay.
That's why it's on Sunday, right?
Oh man, this is tough. All right. Any more? Can someone help him out a little bit?
I think that's all. I don't have the team memorized like this guy over here does. I can't rattle off all their
I can
players.
see the Colts going to the division round. They're not winning the championship.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, it's a great bold take, but with Tom Brady going back to the Super Bowl, and if you see Matt Ryan, we know what happened last time.
I didn't jump in on this. I don't think Tom Brady even is a better team than the Saints right now. I think the Saints.
Whoa.
I truly think, first of all, Tampa Bay, they're an older, experienced team, right? But they have no energy. Gronk's gone. They've been there, done that. No one there cares about getting a ring at this point. Tom Brady would like one, sure, but does he need one? No. Is he still going to be the greatest of all time? Yes. And then you've got the Saints that Jameis has something to prove, obviously.
He
does. He's a turnover machine, though.
They just brought on Tyrann Mathieu, right? He's coming in to revamp that.
Where did he leave?
Where did he leave?
Hey, bro. It doesn't matter. Y'all missing the point. They also picked up Daniel Sorensen. He's going to change the culture down there,
Who's that?
He was our second, the guy that kept getting burnt in Kansas City, the safety.
Where did he go?
to
It's the Saints.
with
Oh.
Matthew.
Him and Matthew.
It's the Southern hospitality, by the way. All right, so I mean, you guys are doing pretty good. I gotta find something. Something's got to stand out. Let's just talk about. Okay, so in big key games, that's why he's called Matty Ice. You know, I mean, it's not his fault. I blame Coach Shanahan for telling Matty to keep throwing the ball in that Super Bowl, which made no sense. But here's the difference, though. He's a leader. And when he's playing in all key, he is a good situational football player.
But he has those physical limitations that come with age.
But there's Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, but he's still the one that gets the ball every time, and you got to be able to move. You get to playoff football; those lines are coming hard.
Could be
They
looking
do
like
have to
Big
play the
Ben
AFC
this
West.
season.
Mm-hmm.
They do have to play the entire AFC West.
Ooh.
All the
Didn't know
defenses
that.
have gotten better.
Yeah, that's 4 losses.
Okay, there it
Hard.
is. All right. Okay, so now let's restructure it because I got to find it. We got it.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to win. I'm going to take them down from being second overall. They're going to be like third or fourth overall. But they're still going to win their division, which is going to put them in the top 4. But it'll be more like third.
I just think the AFC is just too tough a division for them to.
Now, I got to say fourth because all the AFC other divisions are really strong.
Kyle, you're gonna
man.
let him. You're gonna let him.
Like
talk
you got
that?
East, you got the East with the Bills, you got the West with the Chiefs,
And
and,
if
you
it's not
got
the
the
Chiefs,
North with the Bengals and the Ravens.
Well, I thought we all agreed that Patrick Mahomes has his feelings hurt, so they're going to do terribly this year.
No, that's a lie. Patrick Mahomes, he already had his interview, and somebody asked him that question, by the way. He
Yeah,
said,
he was
oh,
just
you know,
like,
that was a
whatever.
surprise, but it's whatever. You know.
He's just
We'll be
getting hit.
fine.
He did bring Whataburger again. Just throwing it out there. You both got good points. I mean, it's just I don't know where to attack. I need you guys to say something that's just going to break the ice. Okay, let's just one more
I've
step.
got it. Frank Reich says he finally has his guy. So
Okay, that's okay. Chris, anything rebuttal?
Yeah, I don't watch their I don't watch the news feed on the Colts.
I got a rebuttal against your Saints in the Tampa Bay thing because that really bugged me. I think the Saints are right behind them. They're not that bad. I think they have a chance. But bro,
But-
if you look at Tampa Bay, they still got
They're stacked.
they're stacked. They still got like all the key superstar players from 2 years ago for them when they won that Super
And they
Bowl.
just added Hakeem Nicks, with another veteran. So that
receiver.
kind
You
of helps.
still have JPP. You still have Devin White. You still have Shaq Barrett. You still have
Ndamukong
JPP
Suh.
was there.
Dominican Sue.
No, Sue left. And I'm pretty
No,
sure.
did he? No,
yeah,
I think-
I thought he
he
stayed.
No, I think he's still a free agent. He
Oh, is he
hasn't
still a free
signed.
agent? Yeah, I know he was.
Well, let's talk about the
signed.
Colts
Anyway,
here. We're
that's
just
one
trying
guy.
to.
I've got
okay,
all I've got
okay,
on the
you
Colts.
guys, you guys are talking about experienced
The
players.
best thing
that are-
about them is they're only 2 hours from Cincinnati.
Wow, Kyle, you got to come back because that was pretty good.
Well, I hope we see Cincinnati in the playoffs.
All right, there you go.
We'll get through
That'll
that
be a
line
good
pretty
one.
fast.
Oh, not this year.
Facts.
We got a whole new line. It's a whole new restructured. 2 Super Bowl players and the third best rated tackle in the league last year.
You got Joey, and then you got Jamar
Jamar.
Chase. They will eat the Colts.
Joe and Jamar.
All right, so are you out? Is your weapons? So,
I've been steadfast.
okay.
I mean, how many
have
players
changed
went
my-
to the Pro
my-
Bowl? How many players went to the Pro Bowl from the Colts last year?
Pro Bowls don't equal championships.
They don't. But is it a good indicator of a strong team?
I'm just saying, if you're at the Pro Bowl, you're not in the Super Bowl.
No, selected to, not that played. They had more selections than every team in the entire league.
I mean, like Tom Brady says, he doesn't compete for Pro Bowls. He competes for Super Bowls. So.
Well, if he didn't win Super Bowls, I think he'd take those Pro Bowls.
That's what all the Pro Bowlers say.
Well, you can't.
I don't know.
Not everybody can have 7 rings. you know?
Is it getting hot in here a little bit?
It is.
'Cause it's
Super hot in here.
It's getting hot and hot at the same time. It's a bad mix. Don, who are you gonna take? Man, this is.
Flip a coin. No dead air.
Okay, so
Let's
we have
keep talking.
Kyle, Driston,
I got Chris.
Ed.
Because
Yeah,
he made him out of Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'll take Cobb because Chris mentioned, Detroit.
That was a long
He does
time.
not want to let
Hold
go.
that
I mean,
grudge.
even though Kyle did mention, the Jaguars winning 10 games, which that's
That's
gutsy. That is
You could
beyond
win
gutsy.
some money. You put that bet and it happened.
Now,
so.
here's the thing. Okay, so here's the deal breaker. All right, here's the deal. I mean, Detroit. I just can't wrap my head around Detroit.
That was a
The
joke.
only two things come out of Detroit: Beverly Hills Cop and RoboCop, and none of that was mentioned. It was just Detroit.
Eminem.
and
Come on.
but you made some valid
Some shady.
points. Oh, nice.
Wait, what?
But isn't he like outside of Detroit?
Well, he's now.
I don't like
But I thought he was from 8 Mile. I thought that was straight up Detroit.
Well,
That's
tough.
what the show.
well, and see, you're averting the question. So here's the deal, Chris. You put up a
Detroit.
good battle. You put up a good battle. I just still can't wrap around Detroit.
I know.
And Kyle put some good facts in. He came in. He was cool, collected, and kind of got worked up. And Kyle, dude, you won it, man. All right. So congratulations to
Cheers.
Kyle. You can pay me under the table. No, but okay, Kyle. Any last words? Want to say? You want to thank anybody for your win?
I want to thank Chris for his suggestion that I put some money on the Jaguars now to make the playoffs. I wonder what their odds would be. But yeah, this is fun. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. All right. Any shout outs before we go, Don?
Shout out to all the fellas here, just coming out and hanging out with y'all.
Tristan.
Shout out to Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't matter what Tyreek. It does not matter what Tyreek says, bro. We got at least an AFC Championship appearance. Is what's going on.
This guy.
And another big shout out to Carlos, for having me here, and Tom Brady's still the GOAT.
Yeah, I'll shout out with Patrick Mahomes for the way he plays Cincinnati in second halves.
Great.
Nice.
Never
one.
rooting for you again.
You burned up mine.
And just give you a shout out, Carlos. Thanks for having me, and also to shout out to my future Super Bowl champion Indianapolis Colts. Owe it all to
It's
you
a
guys.
long future.
We'll start. All right. I would just want to say, first of all, shout out to the fathers. Happy Father's Day tomorrow. Father's Day is an everyday gig. I don't think it's just particular one day. So shout out to the moms and dads. But tomorrow's our specific day. So shout out to our Chris here, his dad, and shout out
And
also
Carlos.
to our. Thank you. Shout out to the people behind the scenes. We're expanding. I thank you guys for all the hard work you do. Of course, I want to thank Kyle for making it through. I appreciate you. Don, thank you so much. Dristan, my boy Dristan. Ed, yeah, you're doing it, man. You're doing it. Chris, he's going to be back. He will be back. I already know it. Also, I want to give a shout out to Aisha Curry for acting right. Thank you for not making a scene, let your husband have this
Take all
chance.
the
No,
shine.
not
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
not your mother-in-law, not the dad. Let Steph do it. So I thank you, Aisha, for acting right. I appreciate you. I also want to thank the friends and family. Shout out to Marty. Congratulations for winning the mat. So the next one we're going to give out that certificate to either Superstar Sports in East Town West and Wichita Mall, or if you're an out-of-towner, we'll give it to you at Lids. So also stay tuned and follow us also in our new shows. We have Wichita Vice that just came out. We got the Silver Cosmo movie reviews. We did Top Gun. That was pretty neat. And then also we're going to have the new upcoming show, Packs and Stacks. So for all the bodybuilders, fitness guys, we got this show for you as well. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we look forward to hearing you guys from the next episode. We're out.